Thank you so much for having us, Mr. Adams. It's an absolute honor to be here and to meet you in person.
Thank you very much. It's good to speak with you.
So we would love to get to know you. I know that our viewers at GoodTv would love to get to know you. So let's just get started with a basic question.
Yes.
So what does a day in the life of Eric Adams look like?
Oh, busy. I start the day around 5:30, 6 o'clock. I meditate, then I exercise, and then I take a green smoothie that I put together made of kale or spinach and blueberries or blackberries, and then I read the morning papers and then start my day with a series of briefings by my team.
Long day. When does your day typically finish?
Probably around 1 o'clock, usually around 1 a.m.
1 a.m.?
Yes. And it's just because a lot of things happen throughout the night. Many people don't realize that this city not only is a 9 to 5 city, but you have afternoon hours and you have even overnight hours. There's sometimes we do things overnight also.
I mean, it's a city that never sleeps, so you're on.
24 hours, something could happen in this city, yes.
What would you say is your biggest struggle being an American?
Probably understanding that, New Yorkers are very opinionated. And no matter what you do, there's always going to be a large number of New Yorkers who are going to have a different way of how they would like to see it carried out. And you have to be able to find consensus and bring everyone to an understanding. And that is a challenge. It could be from developing something to who should be appointed to a position, what laws should be passed. You're in a constant state of trying to find out the right measure to get things done.
Would you say that you have a specific vision for the city?
Yes, a vision of making sure that we have a clean, safe city where we can raise healthy children and families. I'm really family focused, and every day working people should have an opportunity to enjoy the prosperity that this popular brand of New York has.
Yeah, I'm so glad you actually just shared some of your vision with us, because I know that one of your most consistent messages is that public safety and justice are the prerequisites to prosperity.
Yes, so important.
Yeah. So the increasing number of hate crimes against Asians has certainly left many of the community feeling unsafe on our streets. And so in saying that, what are your thoughts on the rise of hate crimes against Asians, and what countermeasures are you taking as a mayor of New York City?
It is so important. Although we have witnessed a decrease in hate crimes among the AAPI community, a decrease is not enough for me. We have to eradicate the hate crimes. And I think you do it on several different levels. It can't be just policing. Of course, if someone breaks the law and is harmful to a member of the AAPI community, we need to enforce the law and make sure that they are held to process. But we also need to educate. I think it's imperative is to start in our schools to educate children of the wonders of the diversity, how important it is, and use it as a teaching moment to not only teach inside our classroom, but to go into the rich communities. You got Koreatown. How many of our students have ever visited that? We have a rich Korean community in Queens, where many of the schools in the areas have not been able to go in and look at some of these communities. And then as adults, we have to do better. We have a program called Breaking Bread, Building Bonds. 100 dinners we did when I was borough president. We want to expand it now. 100 dinners, 10 people at each dinner, all coming from a different background. This way we learn from each other and we start to communicate with each other.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes, and we enjoy it so much.
We do have, we've got Julie Won and we've got Linda Lee, who recently became the first ever Korean Americans to serve on the city council. We can all agree that more diversity amongst our political leaders is always a good thing. What advice would you give to aspiring young Korean Americans who are interested in getting into politics?
To do as they did, put yourself out there. Don't be fearful. Don't let naysayers tell you what you can't do, and just be courageous enough to go out and expose yourself to the criticism, expose yourself to the uncertainty. Both of them, Councilwoman Lee and Councilwoman Wong, they're both amazing electeds. And I think that the goal is just, they should look towards them and state that this is a city for everyone, and just put yourself out there. You have great ideas. When losing the election does not mean you did not win on the issues that are passionate for you.
So continue to chip away and be.
Yes. I'm pretty sure they worked hard to get elected, not only the time of the campaign, but throughout their entire lives. They were, volunteering, participating, working in other elected officials' offices. So they were really, they did a lot of sacrifices to get there.
They did what New Yorkers do best, which is to hustle.
That's right. I call it grinding.
And finally, we'll wrap it up for the last question. Is there anything else you would like to say specifically to the Korean community who is residing in New York?
I want to say thank you to the Korean community. It was clear when you looked at the numbers and votes and you did an analysis, their support for my election was extremely strong. And it wasn't because I knew the Korean community when I was running for office. I knew the Korean community throughout my days in the state Senate, throughout my days as borough president. And so when I decided to run for mayor and communicated with the Korean communities, they were receptive, and they were inviting, and they supported me, and I can't say thank you enough. They were there for me during the campaign. I'm going to be here for them during the time as mayor.
That's lovely to hear.
Thank you. Now, I always think about Commissioner Kim, the first Korean American to be a commissioner of small business services, and he's a real asset to our team.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
I was personally quite nervous going into this interview, but he made us feel super comfortable. Thank you, Mayor Adams. We look forward to seeing you soon. My name is Rosa, reporting to you from City Hall, New York.